73% of men don't realize they're being psychologically controlled right now. And the most dangerous part, the people doing it aren't your enemies. They're sitting across from you in meetings, texting you right now, maybe even sleeping next to you. But here's what will blow your mind. In the next 10 minutes, I'll expose the 7 invisible psychology traps that are being used to steal your power every single day, and the ancient Machiavellian counter-strategies that will make you psychologically bulletproof in any situation. This isn't theory. This isn't motivation. This is psychological warfare intelligence that most men never learn until it's too late. There's a psychological war happening around you every single day. While you're playing by the rules of fairness and logic, others are playing a completely different game, and they're winning by exploiting the exact masculine traits you're most proud of. What I'm about to show you will change how you see every interaction for the rest of your life. You'll discover why Machiavelli called this the invisible battlefield of the mind, why 85% of manipulation targets are successful men exactly like you, and most importantly, how to turn these psychological weapons against anyone who dares to use them on you. But once you see these patterns, there's no going back to ignorance. Your relationships, your workplace dynamics, your entire understanding of human behavior, everything changes. The question isn't whether you'll encounter these traps. The question is, will you recognize them before they destroy your power, or after? Stop everything you're doing right now. Look around you. Every person in your professional and personal life falls into one of 3 categories: unconscious victims, conscious manipulators, or the rare few who see the game clearly. Most men spend their entire lives in category 1, wondering why their careers stagnate, why their relationships feel unbalanced, and why they feel like they're always fighting uphill battles. And here's the terrifying truth they don't want you to know. Machiavelli wrote 500 years ago, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." He wasn't writing philosophy. He was documenting psychological warfare tactics that are being refined and used against you with surgical precision right now. Recent psychology research from leading universities revealed something that should make every strategic man's blood run cold. Workplace psychological manipulation has increased by 47% in just 3 years, and 85% of targets, successful men in leadership positions, men with ambition, men with something to lose, men exactly like you. But why are successful men the primary targets? The answer will completely change how you view your own vulnerabilities. Because you've been systematically trained to trust direct communication. You believe in logical arguments. You respect fairness and consistency. These aren't weaknesses, they're masculine strengths. But psychological predators know exactly how to weaponize every single one of these honorable traits against you. While you're operating with integrity, they're stealing your influence. While you're being rational, they're playing psychological chess with your emotions. While you're building genuine relationships, they're calculating your psychological pressure points. The most successful manipulators don't look like villains. They look like colleagues, friends, partners. They smile, they seem helpful, they appear to have your best interests at heart. That's exactly what makes them so dangerous. Now, I'm going to expose the exact psychological traps being used to control you. Pay close attention. Your future power depends on this. Trap number 1. The competence assassination. They're not questioning your ideas. They're questioning your right to have ideas. I'm just trying to understand your thought process here. Sounds innocent, right? Wrong. They're making you defend your expertise in front of others, automatically putting you in a weaker position. But here's what they don't expect. Never defend, never explain. Machiavelli's counter move. What specific outcome are you trying to achieve with this question? Watch their manipulation crumble in real time. Trap number 2, the emotional puppet master. They've turned your emotions into their remote control. Get angry. You're unstable. Stay calm. You don't care. It's a psychological prison designed to keep you reactive while they stay strategic. And most men never see it coming. But what separates alpha psychology from beta reactions will surprise you. You stop engaging with their emotion and start engaging with their pattern. The moment you recognize the game, you're no longer a player. You're the one controlling the board. Trap number 3. The phantom consensus. Everyone thinks. We all feel. The team believes. Who exactly? They can't tell you because it's all psychological manipulation. They're using phantom social pressure, exploiting your masculine respect for group dynamics. This trap works even when you know it's happening because your brain is wired to avoid social isolation. Here's the nuclear counter-strategy. Who specifically said that? 4 words that destroy the entire illusion. Watch how fast they scramble for a real answer. Trap number 4. The future hostage situation. They're using your own ambitions against you. If you can't handle this, how can we trust you with bigger responsibilities? They're holding your future hostage to control your present decisions. But there's a Machiavellian response they never see coming. Make your compliance conditional. When you can show me the specific path to those opportunities, we can discuss current expectations. Turn their leverage into your negotiation power. Trap number 5. The reality reversal matrix. When you call them out, suddenly you become the villain and they become the victim. Psychology researchers have a name for this. DARVO, deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. It's designed to make you question your own reality. This works especially well on men because we're programmed to protect, not attack. But once you see the performance, everything changes. Their emotional manipulation becomes as obvious as a bad movie. You'll wonder how you ever fell for it. Trap number 6. The information warfare. They control what you know, then make decisions based on what you don't know. When you question their conclusions, they make you feel stupid for not understanding the bigger picture. But here's the truth. There is no bigger picture. There's only controlled information. Machiavelli knew something about information that would change everything for you. Information equals power, and whoever controls the narrative controls the decision. Your weapon? What information are you basing this on, and what am I missing? Trap number 7. The authority shell game. Policy says, when they want your compliance. We need flexibility. When policy doesn't serve them, they're not respecting authority. They're weaponizing it against you. But here's what strategic men understand. Real authority is consistent. When someone's relationship with rules changes based on convenience, you're not dealing with a leader, you're dealing with a psychological predator. Now comes the transformation that elevates you from psychological victim to strategic master. Here's where this knowledge becomes truly dangerous for anyone trying to manipulate you. Once you understand these patterns, you don't just defend against them. You can predict them 3 moves ahead. And when you can predict someone's psychological strategy before they fully deploy it, you control the entire interaction dynamic. The complete Machiavellian counter framework. Step 1. Pattern recognition mastery. The moment you feel confused, defensive, or emotionally reactive in a professional or personal interaction, you pause. These feelings are your psychological alarm system warning you that you're likely under attack disguised as normal conversation. Step 2. Strategic questioning warfare. Instead of defending or explaining your position, you deploy questions that expose their manipulation. What specific outcome are you seeking? What information supports this approach? Watch them scramble when forced to justify their tactics. Step 3. Emotional detachment advantage. Machiavelli's most powerful insight. The person who cares less about immediate emotional outcomes has more power in long-term strategic outcomes. Your emotional detachment becomes their psychological disadvantage. Step 4. Documentation and transparency. Manipulators thrive in private conversations with no witnesses and no record. Insist on email follow-ups, include others in important conversations, and document everything. Transparency destroys their deniability. Here's the fundamental truth that separates men who get psychologically controlled from men who command unshakable respect. Psychology isn't about being nice or mean, aggressive or passive. It's about being strategically aware and tactically prepared for the reality of human nature. But here's what makes this knowledge truly powerful. Once you master these psychological patterns, you become psychologically untouchable. People can't control what they can't predict, and they can't predict someone who understands their playbook better than they understand it themselves. The most dangerous mistake you can make right now is thinking this doesn't apply to your current situation. Someone in your professional sphere, your personal relationships, your social circle. Someone is using at least one of these tactics against you right now. The only question is, will you recognize it and respond strategically, or will you remain unconscious until the damage is done? If this opened your eyes to psychological warfare patterns you didn't see before, subscribe for the advanced strategies that most men never learn. Your tactical mission for the next 48 hours. Watch for just one of these manipulation patterns in your daily interactions. Don't react, don't confront. Observe and document like a strategic analyst. Once you start seeing the psychological game being played around you, you can never go back to being an unconscious participant. The strategic mind sees what others miss. The prepared mind controls what others can't. Make sure you're the one who sees clearly, not the one being manipulated in the shadows.